record, like myself, you'll never get a break for the rest of your life. That's you. You're a marked man for the rest of your life. You're looking over your shoulder.
The police returned to alert him that he was a target.
It was a message. They say that I was going to be shot dead. It doesn't mention anything about leaving the country. It just says that I was to be shot dead inside. And I knew that, and I knew it was true.
But this group weren't interested in hearing Kieran Bradley's pleas.
Well, Rad wouldn't meet me. That's right. They were too disgusted to actually even talk to me. Somebody like me. So no, that shows again the hatred they have towards drugs.
He had to turn to the community he preyed on for years to get help.
At that time, the contact was made with Rad through an intermediary source. Rad were not convinced that Kieran had actually stopped. We had made representation and said that it hasn't been doing it for some time. This man's trying to turn his life around. And ever since that, their thought germinated with them. We've seen a change then, and the approaches that were made to us through an intermediary source saying, look, okay, we're not prepared at this time to take it any further with them, but we will be keeping a close eye on how this man's behaving.
That was a big relief, because I was in a bad way at the time. I think they really did want something on me. You know, I'm not being arrogant or no, they wanted something on me, but I knew I was innocent, because I knew I was going to be shot dead. If I'd done anything wrong, if I ever do anything wrong, then I know I'll be shot dead and I'm innocent.
Doherty's problems with the real IRA began last year. He claimed he'd been approached to act as an informer for MI5, and he made that public by going to the press.
Well, this is a card that Kieran brought down to the office shortly before Christmas, and he claimed he received it hand-delivered to his house from an MI5 agent, as he described it. The card contained a voucher, £100 for a local toy store, and it also contained a mobile phone number and a message asking him to help. I'll just read the card out to you now. I hope this card finds you and your family well. I'd like to think that the enclosed vouchers can go some small way towards contributing to a happy family Christmas. As I said when we met, I need your help and would be grateful if you could give me a call. All the best, Justin. And it contains a mobile phone number also.
As someone who is recently released out of jail and is a young man with a family, would obviously be a prime target for MI5 to recruit. He was a senior figure in the real IRA in Derry, and therefore MI5 would certainly be out to recruit him and to get him to pass on what information that he would have in his possession about others, particularly since Derry is such a hotbed of real IRA activity. Kieran Doherty would be a prime target for MI5 to attempt to turn, to put pressure on him, perhaps to blackmail him. He would be right up their street.
Kieran has been harassed months and months before he died. He lost weight. He ended up in Grantia. They thought he was paranoid because he was imagining this. They followed him. They sat outside the door, watched him eating his dinner. Everywhere he went, they followed him. And I think the reason why he was killed was because he wouldn't talk. So there's something that they have something to do with it. I would believe they have something to do with it.
Sinn Féin say Kieran Doherty came to them for help a number of weeks ago and told them that he felt under pressure from MI5.
Kieran Doherty assured me that he was not a member of that organisation, and he indeed didn't want anything to do with that organisation, and told me how he himself, despite the fact that he had been in prison a number of years ago in association with that organisation and had difficulties with the peace process, but he says with his child and his wife-to-be that he wanted to move on with his life, and he had left that organisation, and he himself did not want any harassment from anyone.
In January, the drugs factory in Donegal was exposed and Kieran Doherty was back under pressure. He went to the press again to try to clear his name. At the same time, the Real IRA say they began a 6-week-long investigation, as they outlined in a statement to a Belfast-based journalist.
The Real IRA said that during the 6-week investigation that Kieran Doherty was interviewed twice. The first time was what the Real IRA called a court of inquiry, where Kieran Doherty heard what the Real IRA said were the charges against him. Kieran Doherty denied any involvement in the cannabis factory. The second interview, according to the Real IRA, took place several weeks later. They said that Kieran Doherty was court-martialed, and this was in accordance to the Real IRA's rulebook, the IRA's rulebook, the Green Book, and they said that there was a representative of the Real IRA there to act in defence of Kieran Doherty. The Real IRA claimed that when the statement from the criminal gang members were read to Kieran Doherty, he admitted involvement in the drugs factory in Carrigan's, but denied allegations that he had been working for MI5.
So the Real IRA say they killed Kieran Doherty because of his involvement in the drugs trade.
Obviously, Kieran Doherty isn't alive to defend himself, and this is only the Real IRA's version of events. The Real IRA said that while it killed Kieran Doherty, it did not in any way mutilate his body or torture him.
The brutal nature of Kieran Doherty's murder bore all the hallmarks of an informer's death.
It's about delivering a wider message. It's about dealing with one person, but sending a wider message to many others. That if you step outside our rules, if you're involved in crime, if you would even dare think of being involved in any conversations with the security forces or the security services, this will be the end you will get. A bullet in the head, your body left to be found publicly, to be seen publicly, and all of that delivered as the final humiliation.
The Real IRA were saying something to their own supporters and perhaps even to their own members, sort of about discipline, about loyalty, about the fact that you don't step out of line, the fact that you don't, as they would say it, besmirch the organisation. And the way the discovery was done and the way the body was left, it tells us something about the way the Real IRA sees itself. You know, the Real IRA is not just a bunch of kill crazy hooligans, as they've been represented in some coverage. They are people who've got a sense of themselves as like sort of the last men, you know, so men standing as far as traditional Irish republicanism is concerned.
They treated him like a dog on the street. If a dog had been shot the same way, they would have been locked up for cruelty to the animals. They stripped him naked. They took away his dignity. They shot him. Left him lying on the road. I don't know what else I can say. I'm disgusted with him. And I hope whoever it was caught.